Alright everyone, welcome to another video, and today we've got something interesting to talk about. Now if you've watched me for a while, then you will have kind of heard me say, either that a new age of right-wing cultural dominance online, a Gamergate 2, if you will, is coming, or if you've been watching me more recently, you'll hear me basically saying, I warned you, it has come. I think that really the personification, like if you really wanted to distill the entire age of conservative media control we're in right now, is really perfectly sort of exemplified in Andrew Tate, who right now is literally in jail and being investigated for sex trafficking, and yet hordes of people are not only like calling on social media for him to be freed and claiming that these allegations, not even allegations, these charges against him are false, but also like protests, real life, real world protests happening with like hundreds, if not thousands of people calling for Andrew Tate to be freed, despite all of the overwhelming evidence and even him admitting to doing sex trafficking. And I really do think that this, Andrew Tate and his followers really do exemplify this new age of conservative media control we're seeing. And one of the people who kind of came out of that age of media control was Sneako. Sneako is, of course, one of the chair sniffers that follows Andrew Tate, along with Aiden Ross, and he's probably, especially right now, like the one who's trying the hardest to be Andrew Tate, or at least having the most success at it. It's really hard to say who's the most successful out of Andrew or Aiden Ross and Sneako at being like the quintessential Andrew Tate wannabe. But I mean, they've outright said they want to be Andrew Tate. They want to be the top G. That said, though, I've talked about this new age of conservative media control, and I've talked a lot about the previous age of media control by the right that was centered around like this sort of commentary, drama, sort of. A lot of the commentary and drama community did a lot to push or be part of the sort of Gamergate cycle, I guess you could call it, back in the day. And one of the figures who kind of came out of that, or who's, a member of the drama community, is Willie Mac Show. Now, Willie Mac Show, I honestly don't have any, negative feelings for him. We did debate once, and the pretty overwhelming consensus is that I won that debate. That's all I'll say. If you want to go watch the debate, you can go see for yourself. But honestly, while a bunch of my fans came out of that debate not liking Willie Mac Show, I honestly like him. I don't think that he's a dishonest actor. I think he's kind of dumb on some political takes, but overall I think he's unironically got a heart of gold in there, And I respect Willie Mac Show for that. Plus, he's pretty funny. He makes good content. He makes pretty good content. So with that said, I'm going to pause this music, and we're going to be taking a look at a new video that Willie Mac Show made. It just came out 2 days ago. It's called Sneako is Unironically Stupid, Path to Irrelevancy. And, well, it's actually Path to Irrelevance. I don't think irrelevancy is a word, is it? I guess it is. I feel like irrelevance would be better, but it still works, I guess. I didn't know irrelevancy was a proper word. I learned something today. See? Willie Mac Show taught me something today. How about that? With that said, though, I have seen a little bit of beef between Sneako and Willie Mac on Twitter. Sneako's been calling Willie Mac a soy boy and shit like that. Very, very Sneako tier insults, and, I think that's pretty cringe. I think that's pretty dumb. I like my boy, not Sneako. I like my boy Willie Mac Show. In fact, I'm subbed to him, as you can see, with the little bell turned on, and I just dropped a like. I just dropped a like on the video. I will say, though, he does have some pretty cringe takes on even people that I'm friends with. So maybe we can make him based. We'll see. But yeah, let's watch. Sneako is Unironically Stupid, Path to Irrelevancy. Let's get it.
Hello everybody, I know it's been a while. I've been on a bit of a red pill binge lately. I've been watching this cute little twink boy named Sneako. And you know what? He's really been waking me up, saying some stuff that seriously resonates with me.
I just want to bully this guy. Like, bring bullying back. Bullying is necessary.
I couldn't agree more. Sneako is a thought leader who lives by trying to seek the truth, even though he can't explain what that truth is.
Oh shit, it's Pixie and Destiny. I know those two.
Motto for the stream is seek truth through funny. I want to be able to tell the truth.
You don't talk about the issues that you don't question the powers that be, and you don't talk about the uncomfortable truths that are really happening. I've always said this on my stream. If they hide it, then it's the truth. If they have to delete
Unfortunately, that is how a lot of people think. I know that sounds like, oh, that's Sneako saying it, so that must be like the most bottom barrel, low IQ thought process that anybody could have, but like, a lot of people think that way. If it's being banned, if it's being like moderated or taken down or in their mind hidden, then it must be the truth. So if somebody like posts 1350 memes and starts arguing that like black people are racially like predetermined to crime and it gets banned off of social media, they believe that lends credibility to that claim. That is genuinely how a lot of people think.
Lead it, then it's the truth.
He's made a career off of suckling off the success of Andrew Tate.
I want to be the top G one day. I want to be there.
Tate is currently under investigation for human trafficking and has admitted to holding women's passports hostage. And Sneako's just like, it's normal. They should just ask for it back.
Hold on, did Tate, wait, I think Tate...
Yeah, so basically the way that Andrew Tate would keep the women that he was sex trafficking from being able to leave the country was by taking their passports, so they can't leave the country and go back home. And most of them were from out, from abroad, so they literally had nowhere to go if it wasn't the Andrew Tate compound where he had their passports.
Did Tate actually say he took their passports? Yes, he did say that.
Yeah,
Okay,
did.
so that's
Yeah.
how they can't leave then. He actually takes the passports. And he probably lies and he says it's for tax reasons. I think you're glazing right now, bro.
They could have asked for it back. They kicked out many women. Destiny, do you not hear about the podcast? You have selective hearing. You don't hear about how many times these women were acting up and they kicked him out because they didn't know how to obey? Based.
What you just said sounds like sex trafficking, my dude. I don't know how you don't understand that.
That's what you deep down need to do, is be a submissive wife who bleeds once a month and cries at movies. Fat lying piece of shit. I would beat the out of you, your dumb mouth that I want to. That it's something. It's comedy. It's funny. You can crack some jokes and stuff like that.
This is gonna be a fun video. You see, Sneako.
So you have to remember, the vast majority of Sneako fans and Andrew Tate fans will not be convinced to stop watching his content or to stop taking him seriously by even the most, Willie Mac Show could make, a content nuke. Willie Mac Show could make a content supernova, okay? That just scorches the fuck out of Sneako's reputation in the minds of everyone who sees it. The problem is that Sneako fans fundamentally do not care about, they don't care. It's really just that simple. Sneako fans, for the most part, Andrew Tate fans, and the people that are falling into this are adults that are so mentally out of it that you can't even try to reach them, and for the most part, kids. Just fucking, young Zoomers who are just now, either in middle school or high school, maybe just graduated high school and getting out into the world at the oldest, and this hustle culture is what they think is going to carry them into a successful adulthood. That's really where a lot of it comes from. It's the desire for these young men to be successful, both romantically and financially, as they become adults. And Andrew Tate is promising them a very easy and stylish path to achieve it. They're going to grow out of it. That's the only way they'll actually be convinced out of it, is growing out of it. It's good that this content exists. It's good that my content exists, and they'll stumble across it and it'll help them out of it. But right now, they're not no arguments are going to reach them at this state. They're going to have to grow and mature a bit. A lot of them are going to have to literally mentally develop enough for the concept of empathy and being a good person to matter to them. Because as a teenager, I remember when I was a teenager, and this was the case for all my my peers, it took a while for us to develop a value for the concept of being a good person. Teenagers are assholes. They really are.
I wasn't very good at building arguments, so let me point you to people who are good at building things. Like PCs. Meta PCs. Is your PC crusty and
Okay, dude. Yes, my PC is pretty disgusting, though, to be fair. I do plan to build a whole new PC once I'm settled out here in Seattle. Alright, let's get to the video.
Is her pussy.
Sneako's content and message largely revolves around destroying women. He loves watching these street interviews. It's what he bases his entire worldview off of.
Why are the women who say they won't settle...
Okay, how do I find one of these videos? I feel like I need to watch these on stream. I feel like these are prime content for me to watch on stream and take apart why the right makes propaganda out of this and why it's so effective. Like, you guys need to send me some of these videos on Discord or on Twitter or something.
Okay with settling for living and dying alone with a dozen cats.
They're egotistical, and they don't want to ever admit that they need a man or that maybe they failed in the dating game.
He'll occasionally do street interviews himself to try and prove that women can't think logically.
Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Oh shit. This is gonna sound so like privileged white girl of me, but I'm not that into politics, so I don't have much say on that. Neither.
She's a griller.
Okay. What do you say?
They're literally grillers. They're grillers. They're like, they don't give a fuck about politics. They're the most normie that it gets. My favorite thing is when political, like, people who are super political brain don't realize how cringe they're being by trying to force politics onto a normie in a way that isn't subtle or effective, and this is just super cringe.
Neither. So should women vote?
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
He thinks that's an own. He thinks that since these girls don't personally vote, then no woman should vote.
They are so goddamn delusional, and we still put up with it. They'll never learn. They won't. They don't have to.
Sneako will take random moments of some girl getting stopped in the street and ask the basic-ass question like, hey, is everyone special? And she'll say yes. Sneako will then freak out.
Special.
Everybody's special. You're special, your own.
Oh my God! Every single time.
Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do anything you want to do.
This guy's entire like reaction roster to anything is just screaming, "Yo! Oh my God! Yo!" and just doing a massive soy face. Like, I feel like there's more soy face images of Sneako online than of anybody else on the entire internet, because the soy face is like what he naturally defaults to when surprised.
Up a reality in her head. She can, because she's a woman. Men can't just make it up. I'm a king.
What?
No,
What are you talking about, bro? What, did you just, like, punch at the camera to try to make people flinch? What was that? Also, like, you realize you idolize Andrew Tate, right? The guy who is currently tweeting schizo rants from... presumably, he's tweeting them from his cell. Presumably tweeting schizo rants from his cell about how he's in the Matrix and he's seeing ghosts.
Give me the castle, pussy. That's what happens.
Why is he punching the camera? Why is this supposed to be, like, intimidating? Did any of you flinch? Why is he punching the camera? I think he actually finds that, like... I think he actually thinks that's intimidating. Do you think he flinches in YouTube videos when people go... or like, I don't even know.
Modern female delusion every single time with the delusion.
Who is this guy kidding? If anyone was stopped randomly and asked these sort of contradicting questions, they would get caught up in it. Ask Sneako himself.
I would argue that our society is the least...
It is! Women have the most rights ever right now, and they still act like they're oppressed. They have more rights today than they've ever had.
But so do black people, so do you think black people shouldn't try to fight for more?
Oh, that was a good question.
So for those of you guys that don't know, Sneako and Aiden Ross are like they're very much part of the W community in the streamer sphere, which is very much predominantly black, both in the streamers that occupy it and the viewers that watch it. So Sneako kinda has to be woke on issues that pertain to black people. It's really bizarre that, like, Sneako is this super hyper misogynist, hyper homophobic, hyper transphobic, like, hyper conservative overall dude, but he has to be very woke on black issues because, like, 99% of his coworkers and the people that he relies on, like, to orbit are black. So he can't really, he can't do the, he can't go down that road.
Fight for more?
Oh, that was a good question. But racism is not natural. Patriarchy is natural. That's biology. Racism is based in just hatred.
Yeah.
See, he's got to be like this weird, bizarre type of woke on race issues. I love it. It's really, really cool.
Sneako, the film school dropout, is going to tell us how biology is related to human rights.
Yo, is this person retarded?
Yes.
Sneako is someone who will often project while reacting to videos. He's usually just describing himself.
Damn, she's dumb. This is when a girl only knows how to disagree. She got triggered by a question, and I know women, all she's gonna do is look to disagree now. As soon as you trigger them, they stop making sense. They just need to fight you.
This is Sneako. He argues points that make zero sense just because he's too proud to admit he's wrong in a debate. I've seen this guy argue that seatbelts make vehicles more unsafe.
Seatbelts do too. Do you wear a seatbelt when you drive, or do you not give a fuck with it?
I have this thing where you could put a seatbelt like thing you could buy on Amazon. This is like advice for the chat. You can get like a seatbelt thing on Amazon that clicks in and then it gets rid of the beeping sound.
Why do these people keep on admitting to breaking the law and giving advice on breaking the law? Also, you'll notice Sneako's chat is spamming W in response to Sneako saying no seatbelts. To be clear, I'm throwing stones from a glass house here because I don't drive and I don't even have my driver's license. But like, none of Sneako's fans who are spamming W in the chat in response to him saying seatbelts don't matter have a car or can drive. Okay, because there's no shot these are people who drive and are all like, W, yeah, I don't wear my seatbelt when I drive, because the amount of accidents that happen would just be so much higher with these dumbasses actually being on the road. Obviously, wearing a seatbelt doesn't decrease or increase the chances of an accident, but the fact that you would or wouldn't wear one can be pretty, like, I feel like the Venn diagram of people who don't wear their seatbelts when driving and car accident victims is pretty, like, close to being just a circle. Pretty close.
Okay, so you don't wear seatbelts either. Do you think seatbelts make you safer when you drive?
There's some circumstances where a seatbelt actually restricts you and traps you inside the car. You can see accidents.
There are some circumstances where somebody could...
collision.
Yeah.
You can imagine interrupting and
Yeah, there are circumstances where...
Hold on. Desi, let him finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can get into a head-on collision, and if you have a seatbelt on, then you can get trapped in the car, and the car can catch on fire. But sometimes, if you're not wearing a seatbelt, there's instances where people have literally flown out the windshield because they weren't wearing a seatbelt and they survived. But a seatbelt could trap you. There is absolutely no instance, generally speaking, in which it is better to go flying out of the fucking windshield of the car in a car accident, to leave the car and for your body to literally go flying. There is no scenario in which that is better than being trapped, quote unquote, in the car by the seatbelt. Even if the car does like a triple flip and then ends up on fire, you're better off being with the seatbelt, keeping you from flailing around and going flying down the road. Listen, I grew up a lot in sort of more rural areas, so there weren't a lot of car accidents that happen around. But earlier in my childhood, I grew up in Tampa, okay? And I took a very busy road, like that one that went straight to downtown Tampa. If you're a Florida resident, it's the one that goes right by the big white tower. You know the one if you're from the area. I don't need to describe it anymore. It's the big white tower by the Hillsborough River. That road was the one that I had to take to get to my school. And this is when I was in elementary school. And there was a big car accident that happened in which someone did go flying out the windshield. And let me just say, the streak on the cement of their blood, the blood streak was like 10 feet long and was there for the entire school year. I saw it was slowly getting faded, more orangish, kind of like sort of a dark reddish, sort of black eventually as the time went by. But over the course of the entire school year, just a 10-foot long streak across that road that was like 5 minutes away from my school that I had to take to go to school. And I was like, oh, the streak's looking a little darker today. And, you know, the accident had happened when I was on my way to school. So, like, I saw the accident, like, on the way to school. And then every single day after that, saw the red streak of blood slowly get, like, more dark and eventually fade away. I don't know if it's still there. It's probably not. But, yeah, that shit's real. Wear your seatbelt. Please, don't listen to Sneako, of all people, on driver safety. You in there.
What do you think is more common? Do you understand statistics or probability?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's more common.
He knows he's wrong. He just won't man up and admit it. He's so stupid, he thinks Hitler isn't a Nazi. Hitler!
You think that, like, Kanye was joking when he said that he liked Hitler, though?
No, he's being truthful. But he was saying something provocative on purpose. The overall idea, see, people say like, oh, look, he's a Nazi. No, he's not. He's black. Yeah, he's not a Nazi. That's the point.
Okay. Yeah, but you said he can't be a Nazi because he's black.
Okay, but he's not a Nazi.
Okay, but not because
he's black.
Just for other reasons.
Well, you also can't be a true Nazi. You have to be blonde hair, blue eyed. Even Hitler wasn't a true Nazi.
Or like a neo-Nazi, I suppose.
Yeah.
I feel like if that's how you're defining Nazi becomes a useless statement, because if we can't even
That's the point. Yeah, that is the entire point, Pixie. The point is to basically narrow down the definition of Nazi into something so unusable that nobody's a Nazi. But at this point, they've gone with a more like arguably effective tactic of destigmatizing Nazi entirely. They've made it like, yeah, so what? Someone's a Nazi. That's fine. That's their new line of argument for the most part. Sneako's not smart enough to make it, but that's what most of the right has been sort of flocking to is like, yeah, Nazis are cool. Yeah, who cares? Like they're fine with Nazis, and they're open about it now.
call the leader of the Nazi movement a Nazi, then
by his own definition, he wasn't part of the master race, so.
Yeah, and then nobody's a Nazi, so it doesn't seem like that's a good definition of Nazi.
Owned by a woman? Cringe? Sneako is so stupid, he doesn't even know the difference between an Aryan and a Nazi. Sneako is so stubborn, he won't even admit the leader.
Like, it is pretty funny to me that, like, Sneako is the level of education where he believes that you have to be Aryan to be a Nazi. And so Hitler wasn't a true Nazi because he wasn't Aryan. God, imagine, like, being Sneako. Like, I know that's, like, a meme. Like, imagine being insert person. But, like, I mean that unironically. Imagine being Sneako and seeing the world through his eyes and with his brain. Could you, like, just... What is that like? I can only imagine it's like... I would need to get super fucking stoned. And I could experience that for, like, 20 seconds before my tolerance kicks in. And I go back to being sober enough to comprehend reality.
Of the Nazi party was a Nazi.
As soon as you trigger them, they stop making sense.
No, definitely not. Not better than men, but we are better than men.
Imagine if I said that shit. If I said, no, men are better than women. And you go, why? Just because, it's my personal opinion. I'm just better than you. Like, as a gender, I'm just better.
He does do that all the time. Literally in the same video, he does that.
If I said that, I would have a million reasons as to why men are better than women. Like, more physically capable, smarter, faster, more capable of leading.
You gotta feel bad for this chick. You just see the smile falling from her face.
Just, like, built better. We don't have extra body fat. We don't get pregnant for 9 months and get all emotional once a month. There's just, I can... come in with reasons.
And she never came on his stream again.
Dude, okay, something that you gotta know is that these, the viewers of these, okay, there are other streamers that do it too, but it's very popular with right-wing, like, conservative cuck streamers, where they will basically get a bunch of women to... through whatever means, usually via hiring them or, like, promising, like, just the concept of collaboration, just finding women to be in the background of their stream. Just there, in the background, just chilling out. Not really there for any reason other than to be part of the set. Like, or maybe throw in a few bits of dialogue, but not really be part of the stream as, like, an actual, like, streamer, I guess you would say. And that's the type of thing these, like, Andrew Tate Sneako types do. They bring on, like, in many cases, a bunch of women who I don't even know if they knew who Sneako was before this. For all I know, like, they're just a bunch of women off the street they paid. But, like, they'll bring these women on to just sit there and act as eye candy and to nod and say yes to all of the, like, insanely misogynistic shit they say. Because one of the things a lot of these guys need is for all of the shit that Sneako is saying to be reaffirmed by a woman. Like, as long as there's one woman they can see as, like, a defector who's, like, a truth teller and is, like, letting all of the sneaky femoid secrets out, then they'll believe all of it. That's what they need, like, the final key to convincing them.
I wonder why he's single.
He doesn't know how to submit. Feminism has brainwashed these girls into thinking that they need to be all woke and shit like that. What you really want is a good man to fuck... Yeah, come here, shut the fuck up with your feminism. Shut up, Chad. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. That's what you need. You need that. The women are already...
I like how his chat was spamming L. His own chat was spamming L because of that. I'm proud. I'm proud to see even his own chat was smart enough to spam L. It really is just something to see. He's got 2 silver play buttons and a gold one in the background there sitting on that chair. Just know, the right... I warned you guys of this. I told you this was coming.
pretty much run by the state. Women are easier to manipulate. Men are more capable of independent thought. It is what it is. I know that might sound misogynistic. Men are the philosophers. Men are the thought leaders. Stop believing in this feminist garbage. We're not equal. You're weaker than me. You're hormonal. You're supposed to have children, and you don't want to.
What is happening? He sounds like some Al-Qaeda politician. Women, no driving, no working, only meant for breeding.
That's what you...
I think Willie means like a Taliban politician in Afghanistan. I don't know if there's any... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he means, because that's where they control Afghanistan now, and a bunch of the Taliban are now like politicians and pencil pushers, and they have banned women doing like pretty much anything there now. I think that's what he meant. Maybe wrong though.
Deep down need to do.
But yeah, he does kind of sound like that, if I'm being honest. He does kind of sound like that a bit.
Be a submissive wife who bleeds once a month and cries at movies. You are more emotional. You know why? Because women are weaker. Chad, me and you, we get in the cage. Who's winning in a fight? I'm just saying.
Yes, Sneako, you can beat up a woman. Really manly of you, dude. I present to you the Ray Rice Award. What's wild is this lady never said that women can beat up men. All she said was that men can get emotional too, which is true. Sneako once cried on stream because Brandon Buckingham called him a cuck and challenged.
Oh, he's never gonna fight Brandon Buckingham. I've watched Brandon Buckingham go on PKA a couple times. That motherfucker is crazy. He's funny, and he's like sort of a shock jock YouTuber type, but he's got like... I actually like him because it seems like he can be sincere, right? He can turn off the like meme, like irony mode where he's playing a clear character, and he can be sincere and like be an honest, like chill person on a podcast or talking like off camera. But like then he can be funny in skit videos where he's like fucking with people on the street, and it never really seems like as... At least when I've seen of what Brandon Buckingham's done, maybe I could have my mind change. It never seems as like cruel or mean-spirited.
Challenged him to a boxing match.
What would you think if that happened to you, chat? What would you think if that happened to you?
The dude was so sad he had to open a window.
Oh my god, man.
He was holding back tears on...
Listen, there's nothing wrong with declining a boxing match if you don't do boxing and someone challenges you to it, but Sneako literally, like, prides himself on being some, like, super macho, badass, like, dude, he's, like, getting into boxing and weightlifting, and he's literally challenging people to box. Like, he's been challenging people to box him, so... Yeah, if Brandon Buckingham's sending him a challenge, he doesn't get the bitch. He doesn't get to play the victim and not look like a little... bitch.
Stream.
The same people, it's like the most hate comes from like...
Wow, not so tough when having to deal with a guy that would beat the fuck out of him. But woman, yes, he'll fight a woman.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I feel like Sneako hates women because he's very close to identifying as one. I'm gonna read this tweet from Jeremy, and I want to see if this correlates to Sneako at all. Loads of...
I meant to cover this, but my internet went out, and I really couldn't stream the day when I was going to cover this. But yeah, the Quartering dropped this massive, like, Twitter thread that's basically just outing a bunch of, like, right-wing commentary YouTubers and figures as chasers, gay in the closet, or trans in the closet, all that stuff. Which is, of course, we've known all this already. This is no surprise. It's just being confirmed.
The right-wing commentators are either closeted gays or tranny chasers. Look, I accept and support them, but many of these people you think are based and red-pilled love trans cock. Or, well, cock in general. Deal with it. I mean, what other straight guy has so many half-naked photos of himself? He was jerking off in front of a male photographer, laying next to another man's ass. As a kid, he wore his sister's dress. Did I mention he was touching his peener in front of a male photographer? This was uncensored. I had to censor this. He was half chub for sure. He has stories of these old guys eating out his girl while his peener is still in her, meaning other men have licked his wiener.
And so while I'm like hitting it from the back, he lays down on the floor and starts licking her. But think about like the logistics of that.
Dick is that close?
Think about the logistics. Like his head is like under, it's like 6 inches, like his eyebrows are like tickling the bottom, and I have to like move, like go like that so I don't make contact because his eyebrows are like tickling.
You only gotta look at this guy for a minute to realize he's crying out for help. You see, once on stream, he admitted he caught a friend using the app Grindr.
I realized halfway through the ride, I'm like, oh shit, he left his phone. I pick up his phone from the passenger seat. I look up, 2 notifications from Grindr, chat. He had 2 notifications from Grindr. I'm not gonna bring it up. That's the option that I'm clicking. Just ignore it and keep pretending that he's straight. I want to keep living in the lie. Why is that not an option? Keep living in the lie.
This is sad. Sneako, you would be accepted. What? Jeremy accepts you.
Who is this cute little lesbian and how tight is her pussy?
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.
As we've already seen, Sneako isn't the brightest. He completely ignores all facts, logic, and common sense when it comes to things that challenge his core values, and Andrew Tate is definitely.
I hope you guys enjoy watching me give myself chiropractic adjustments because my back and neck have been killing me.
Definitely one of them. He's said multiple times that he wants to be the next Andrew Tate.
I'm trying to be that. I want to be the top G one day.
When the Tates got banned off YouTube, Tristan passed the torch to Sneako, and he completely creamed himself.
I'm gonna continue living the life. So, Sneako, young man, if I disappear, I'm passing the torch to you. Keep spreading the message while it's still relevant to talk.
Tristan Tate said he passed me the torch. It's not gonna be easy, but
God,
they won't die out because truth will always prevail.
Wow, inspiring. This would skyrocket Sneako's career. In a lot of ways, he was Tate's successor. His growth became tied to Tate's success. So that means that Sneako has to side with Andrew Tate on every point, all the time. For instance, Andrew Tate gets investigated for sex trafficking. It's an ongoing case, so I can't blame people for picking sides and coming to their own conclusion. However, I think when it comes out that Andrew Tate is holding women's passports so they can't leave, we could all be a little critical of that.
Or the fact that Tate admitted
Hold on,
it.
did Tate, wait, I think did Tate actually say he took their passports? Yes, he did say that. Okay, so that's how they can't leave then. He actually takes the passports. And he probably lies and he says it's for tax reasons. I think you're glazing right now, bro.
They could have asked for it back. They kicked out many women. Destiny, do you not hear about the podcast? You have selective hearing. You don't hear about how many times these women were acting up and they kicked him out because they didn't know how to obey?
He's such a simp for Andrew Tate. He cheers Candace Owens on when she says he's probably not a rapist.
Ran in an article last night.
Come on, Candace.
Was a transcript of a woman basically saying that.
Okay, if you don't know, Candace Owens is like the most known and brazen grifter that there is out there. Like the evidence for it is just overwhelming. Look on my channel, Xander Hall Candace Owens Grifter. I've made a couple videos that just I've made update videos to update with new evidence, like new literal empirical undeniable evidence of her being a grifter. It is very insane how much she will just chase the money.
That she didn't want to get a tattoo. Allegedly, all of the girls that Andrew Tate is with, they have a tattoo of his name on their body. And she says, no, I want to like keep my body pure. And he's like, well, I'm paraphrasing here. If you're going to be with me, your body belongs to me and you need to get this tattoo. I do not find that to be evidence that he is a rapist.
L Ukraine. People in Sneako's chat spamming L Ukraine. Jesus Christ.
Wandis Owens in the chat.
Really? This is what he's clapping for? The bar is set that low, huh? Tate is forcing at best his employees and at worst trafficked women to get his name tattooed on them, and we're just ignoring that. But it's not evidence that he raped anyone. Woo! Classic Tate W. Andrew Waite in the chat. Candace Owens would then explain how her friend talked to Tate at a dinner party years ago.
She spent a lot of the time that we were there talking to him. Right, they were having a conversation. He spoke to her. And at the end of this dinner, as I am not paying attention because I've got butterflies in my stomach and I'm falling in love with my husband, she comes over to me afterwards and she says, this guy, Andrew Tate, I think he's a pimp in Romania. I said, what? And she's like, no, I think he's like actually a pimp in Romania. And I'm sitting here going, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you notice the difference in how men are treated now? You know, pimps back.
I like, literally, it's Candace Owens telling a story about how a family friend talked to Andrew Tate, like, offline in real life and was like, yeah, the Andrew Tate guy, I think he might be a pimp in Romania. And Sneako's like, you see how men are treated now? Like, men literally, like, you can't even sex traffic women now without the media trying to ruin your life.
Back in the 70s used to be extremely respected men. Pimps used to be looked at and
Holy shit, dude. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Very revered and respected, always. People have always loved pimps. They've always been very revered and respected by society. It's not like prostitution has ever been, like, fucking illegal or anything like that. It's yeah, absolutely.
Revered because they were an example of people who were self-governing, who controlled a lot. They were powerful.
Like, how is this his take?
Probably. Does he mean among criminals? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, as like a successful criminal organization, maybe. I think he's talking about crime organizations.
Takeaway. Do some critical thinking for 1 second. I wonder why Andrew Tate has been lying, going on all these podcasts saying he isn't doing this webcam shit anymore.
About the webcam business.
I'm not even in that. I haven't been in that business for like 6 years.
When he still is. It wasn't until he was arrested people realized he was still doing this shit, lying the whole time. Sneako, just like everybody else, was lied to. He had no idea.
Wait, I didn't know that he was hiding the whole like sex trafficking thing for the last few years and lying and saying he'd stopped a while ago. Damn, so those clips of him admitting how we do it were old clips from back when he was like open about it. Okay, apparently Andrew Tate did have the know-how to eventually stop admitting to crimes once he started getting larger. I didn't know that. That's a good thing to know.
Tate and Tristan, they don't do the webcam business anymore because the message is bigger. The Tates got rich by pimping. They didn't have an audience. Now they do, and they're off to better things.
Well, they're still pimping, and Sneako hasn't said a word about it. I understand that Andrew Tate hasn't been found guilty yet, but Sneako isn't even the least bit critical. He sucks his dick at every opportunity, defending him over every small criticism. Andrew Tate gets made fun of for his terrible music.
That's me. Big boss is Mr. Plenty.
It stunk. It was annoying. It was basic as hell.
Yeah, the song sucks ass. It's awful. But watch how Sneako defends his boy.
You know what? I don't think you should be able to fucking make music reviews if you can't make a song yourself. You've never made a song. What the fuck do you know about music?
And then legitimately, the next day...
Anthony Fantano's like the most respected music video like reviewer on the internet.
Sneako pearl clutches and cries about Critical's music.
Promoting drugs.
I got my balls, slap my face, ready to go.
Okay, you see the Antichrist on his forehead? Upside down cross? What?
Jesus Christ. You have to understand, it's a bunch of fucking Zoomers who have like liberal millennial parents who are probably not even religious. And they're like rebelling against their parents by turning to like Christ-pilled, like right-wing traditionalism as a way of like being contrarian to their parents. I swear, it's what a lot of this shit is. It's kids of left-wing millennials falling into this. I guarantee it. I cannot wait for the next left-wing dominance of the internet to happen, because it's gonna happen, just like with the BreadTube era. It's gonna happen again. I cannot wait to see the videos of these kids, these Andrew Tate stans, who get out of it and make their videos telling their story of how they did, talking about their, like, millennial liberal parents and how they were, like, overwhelmingly, just all of them talking about the same set of circumstances pushing them into this Andrew Tate, Sneako, Aiden Ross, red pill sphere.
What is that? And this is the reason I started believing in God. When people that look like this start promoting Satanism.
Ready to go, so let's fornicate. Ready to go, so let's fornicate. Ready.
Okay, promoting sin.
Is he real? This guy's such a loser. He's gargling Andrew Tate's balls. Don't make fun of Mr. Tate's music unless you make music. Andrew Tate is the best. Meanwhile, he's crying like a Christian.
So, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Rice Gum. He's still around, by the way. Rice Gum is still around douching it up with his audience. But like Rice Gum, much like Andrew Tate, has had a very young audience, and it was all just centered around flexing and being a massive douchebag. And YouTube just never banned him for some reason, despite all of like the giveaway scams he would do and all the lying he would do and all the other bullshit he'd pull. I don't even remember all of it, but like, yeah, these figures basically like they'll either die out when their audience like grows out of their content, or they will just persist by continuing to grind and bring in new sort of waves of Zoomers that haven't like grown out of it yet. But like the only thing that's going to get these like L and W posting like Zoomers out of this hole is going to be growing up. Like that's a lot of it, right? Like if these guys were in my chat right now, I'm not streaming, but if I was streaming and they were in my chat right now, they'd just be spamming L. None of the empirically true arguments that I'm making right now they'd just go in one ear, right out the other. They're not primed to hear any of it yet.
soccer mom over a joke song. I don't get it. Aren't you the edgy joke guy? The fact that you take this shit so literally is embarrassing.
Is it supposed to be funny?
Yes.
Is it supposed to be degenerate?
Yes, that's the joke.
Did he get a call from someone on Epstein's Island to promote Satanism?
This guy wanted to be a comedian, yet joke polices Charlie.
This guy also likes the movie Cuties. Let's rewind. Sneako made a whole video about how much he likes the movie Cuties. Just little reminder.
Pick a lane, dude. He then gets mad because Charlie says he's buffer than Sneako. So Sneako, being the brave man that he is, wants to fight 5'6" Charlie.
I'm not calling him small. I'm saying he has no muscles. He's probably taller than me. No doubt.
Yeah.
Charlie's built.
Yeah, but hit the gym. Andrew Tate preaches getting a better physique.
You really body watching right now? You're body shaming, but you can't fight, pussy? How you gonna body shame and you scared of a fight? You got nothing to talk about.
I like how the entire Sneako chat just spamming the F slur. Like these are literally like teenagers whose entire like moral philosophy is based around like, ironically enough, how based it is to be a bad person. You know, they're trying to out bad person each other.
Watching your fucking clips. Tell that to your chat. Let's pull up. Were you in Tampa? Say that shit to my face. I ain't watching no clips on Twitch on a bot platform. I know you listening to me right now. You in Tampa? Tell that shit to my face. If you really stand on it. If you're a real man, stand on it and tell me to my face.
I think Charlie could throat punch Sneako and probably incapacitate him pretty hard. Like Sneako does not have fight in him. Sneako's like a feral dog who like a coyote. That's what Sneako is. Charlie is a wolf, like Critical is a wolf, and Sneako is a coyote, alright? Like, Sneako would, at least temperamentally speaking, like after 2 or 3 punches, I think Sneako's going down. Not necessarily getting knocked out, but like is essentially out of the fight. I don't feel like Sneako can take hits. He could maybe deal some strong ones, like maybe he's strong enough to do that, but I don't think he could take them. I don't think he's got like a fighter spirit. He just seems like kind of a douchebag, you know?
Face to the guy. Hey, do you still have me unmuted on Rumble, Sneako? To the Rumbler that said I'm built like SpongeBob? Hey, yeah, when he had anchor arms, baby, look at that.
Aw, is Sneako hurt again? His comedy sucks, by the way.
I just don't get how that's an insult. I always ask girls, what do you mean by football? What does that mean? It means like you look like you don't text back. You look like you play with girls' emotions for sex. Thank you. At least I'm not a nerd anymore.
For those who don't know, that's actually him being honest. He talks about how he used to be this massive nerd who had no friends and, you know, was a big virgin, but then he got red-pilled and everything. He used to be, like, very scrawny and everything, too. You can look at old, like, photos and videos of him back when he was, like, less douchey. Yeah, no, this is a guy who really feels like the following Andrew Tate's advice and being an Andrew Tate orbiter. He bases his entire self-worth and self-esteem on it. He can't break that illusion. He can't shatter that, or he shatters his entire self-worth, his entire ego, which is entirely built on Andrew Tate.
You don't just get to choose which ones to follow, which ones to don't. You gotta stay consistent. You know, I think everybody has these preconceived perceptions and they follow that and they stick to that. You gotta think outside the box, man. You see how uncomfortable the room is now? I'm talking about God and stuff like that. Is that okay? I feel like a lot of you, I don't know, we're just kind of dying, you know? I feel the awkwardness. People chatting in the back.
Yeah, he's not a very good comedian, is he?
Is the stand-up comedy or a TED Talk?
But think about it, come on. Like that lady down south, the pink block, she's probably gonna be homophobic, right? And we always act surprised when they go on TV, they say something, and they get fired. Like, what did you think that she thought, this lady down south? You think that she was gonna have some progressive beliefs about gender norms and about homophobia? No. Like, if my daughter Sally was trans, I'd be fine with it. That's not how they think. Just like you guys up here think that there's 40 genders.
Let's see what the judges think.
I just don't really, I kind of stopped following the conversation. Yeah, that's basically what
Yeah, I did too, honestly.
So I gotta ask how many genders are there? How many genders are there? You should.
Yo, when the judge is funnier than Sneako's comedy routine.
I'll never be cool. Don't get what I want, I'm a noob. I'm way lamer than you, I'll never be cool.
I just want to reiterate how much of a bitch this guy is. He's somebody that will act all tough, but as soon as somebody steps up to the plate, he shifts the goalpost. For instance, he gets a video made on him by Mr. Beard, who didn't want to debate Sneako live. So Sneako, even though he couldn't refute any points, twisted it into being a victory.
This guy is, look at him bottom left, another one of the fucking faggots too afraid to debate.
Turkey Tom then makes a video on Sneako, and Sneako challenged him to a debate. Only this time, Tom accepts the debate. Sneako then ghosted Tom, with his excuse being that he wants to go on a bigger streamer show.
Turkey Tom will literally just call Sneako a retard over and over and over again for hours. Like, that would go so bad for Sneako. Like, say what you want about Turkey Tom, but Turkey Tom's audience and just himself would annihilate Sneako. Like, that's basically exactly the type of person that would be best to take down Sneako.
Sneako then gets into a fight with Charlie, and Charlie has a bigger audience than him too. So Sneako has to shift the goalpost yet again to where Charlie has to meet him in real life. Otherwise, it's just another classic Sneako W.
Chat, I'm not reacting to a stream. This guy's pissed me off, and you can tell him this. I want to meet him in person. 17K Rumble W. W's in the chat not only for this guy being a fucking pussy, but also for
you literally see people in the chat spamming behead F slurs.
For the fact that I just lapped you on Rumble.
Yeah, man, you get like 20K views a video. It's not impressive. And then finally, when Brandon Buckingham is down to meet Sneako, he's there to box him. They're both similar sizes. Sneako would now rather just sit at home and tell jokes behind his computer.
I'd rather sit at home and yell at a camera, tell jokes than, risk my manhood falling flat for Brandon Buckingham, if I lose the fight.
So now it's suddenly cool to just stay at home and keep it all online. You know what? I'm realizing the people Sneako's down to fight, it's coming off as a bit pussy to me. He's down to fight 2 women.
Me and you, we get in the cage. Who's winning in a fight? Monica, I just want to take your bun in a fist and then slam it down like I'm mashing butter. Your dumb mouth that I want to... that it's something. And I'm learning and I'm growing. I did not mean to say that I...
God, like, you gotta, like, that's the... Something you have to understand is the audience that watches this guy saw that and was just like, based, W, Like, they're not the type of people who are going to listen to reason. They're just not... I feel bad saying it, but yeah, a lot of these fucking Zoomers that are falling into the Tate sphere are currently so mentally undeveloped, they're borderline subhuman in regards to their morals. Like, I think there's literally studies around this as well. Like, your brain isn't even fully developed until you're 25. I'm 23 years old. I fall into this category as well. You don't even fully develop the concept of empathy, understanding of consequences for your actions, on average for most people, until you're around 25 years old. So certainly in the case of teenagers where you're getting very hormonal, you're starting to get your own opinions and you're starting to become more independent, but you also haven't fully developed, you're going to fall into some really fucked up shit online. And that's what these kids are falling into. It's predictable, honestly.
I would grab her bun and smash her head up and down like I'm mashing butter onto my crotch.
Charlie, who's 5'6",
I could beat the shit out of Penguin Zero. He knows it. You pussy to meet in real life. God damn, I need some W's for that, bro.
D'Angelo Wallace, who's a 5'7" gay man and whose only interaction with Sneako was leaving a mean comment.
You bum, you Lil Tekka Ellen looking at, you fucking weirdo. Just another gay nerd with glasses who's probably talks the same way and snitches on people. D'Angelo Wallace, you got me feeling some type of way, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Those glasses, this one little bit. I challenge you. You want to box me, bro? Let's do a 1v1 boxing match. You say I belong to the streets. Yeah, I belong to the streets. We could rock this out on the streets or we could do it in the ring, bro. Let's box.
And Ethan Klein, who, look at him. Yeah, I feel really tough.
Okay, I'm sorry, but anybody who does that line, that fake line in their, you know what this line is supposed to be in, like, the eyebrow? It's supposed to be like a fake scar line, right? Like, it's the most cringe fucking shit ever. You know this guy's a dweeb who would fold the instant someone... I don't even think it's a size thing. I think Charlie, who is 5'6", could go up against this guy and absolutely fold him. Because I don't think he has the spirit. I think he's a complete fucking loser. Nobody who's actually in any way, like, has any value of their like, worth would do this to their eyebrow. Like, this is him wanting to look tough.
Wallace, you got me feeling some type of way, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Those glasses, this one little bit. I challenge you. You want to box me, bro? Let's do a 1v1 boxing match. You say I belong to the streets. Yeah, I belong to the streets. We could rock this out on the streets or we could do it in the ring, bro. Let's box.
And Ethan Klein, who, look at him. Yeah, I feel really tough around these people too, Sneako. It really takes a big man to act the way you do.
You fat lying piece of shit.
Honestly, though, like, Ethan Klein might be able to throw some hands. Like, against Sneako? I don't know, man. I feel like Ethan Klein's definitely overweight, you know, but like to be overweight, you have to have a fair amount of muscle beneath that in order to carry it, just by default. And also that just gives you a lot of body weight. And if you throw a proper punch, you're using most of your body to do it. And the more weight, the better if you know how to do it. So like, I feel like Ethan Klein could throw, if he was taught how to, I feel like Ethan Klein, after a little bit of training, could throw some demonic fucking punches, like some death punches with the weight that he could put behind him if he knew how to do it.
I would beat the fuck out of you, Ethan Klein, if you said that about me. You lied to my name, to my face. Let's get in the ring. Stop talking shit about me and let's box.
So you probably can just barely see what's like. This is Willie Mack having to censor Sneako's chat, but this is probably just from the bits you can see sticking out, the F slur and the T slur there. This is probably just his chat spamming a chant to kill F slurs and T slurs. Just based on what I've seen of like Sneako's chat before. It's probably just like literally like Nazi chanting.
Oh yeah, that's a top G attitude right there. Wanting to fight these people? Tough. Wanting to fight somebody your own size who's also training to box? Nah, man, let's just leave it online. Let's leave it to online debate.
If I was any more inbred, I'd be a sandwich.
Sneako's motto is to seek truth through funny.
My motto for the stream is seek truth through funny. I believe in, ultimately, I think my philosophy is comedy is funny. I think if you follow that, you can never really be derailed.
Yeah, this guy's real deep. It would be a great motto, except he never seeks the truth about anything. He usually just makes shit up and then repeats it as if it's the truth. Honest to God, this guy thinks that working out will get you banned.
That is the philosophy of a lot of these Zoomers, though. Truth through comedy.
And on YouTube.
He's gonna turn into like another Sneako. He's just gonna be banned from everything. He just needs to fucking save himself. It's good that he's working out.
Isn't it funny how they know that working out and becoming better will get you banned?
That's not even what Hassan said. He just...
Dude, that is fucking wild to me. Oh, Jesus. God, these people... Like, that is legitimately, like, the level of honesty they operate on, though. They do argue, like, the left is anti-self-improvement.
Says these made-up things all the time. Like, when has this happened? Name one time. He can't, because it's not true.
Yo, is this person retarded?
Yes, she's retarded. Is that the answer you're looking for? She's retarded?
Yes.
His comedy is funny. I think if you follow that, you can never really be derailed.
Even worse is he is the most painfully unfunny person I've ever had the displeasure of watching. This video took so long to make because he is so boring to watch. His main thing is telling people he's funny, because that's what funny people do, right?
Because what I'm good at is the message. I'm good at speaking to a camera. I can crack some jokes and stuff like that. Ha ha! Woo! Ah! You know what I'm saying? I'm good at entertaining you.
Wow. His best bit is putting an L in front of someone's name when he dislikes them.
Larandon, Luckingham, Lasanabi, L3, Ethan Decline.
It's not even a good roast, and he had to steal this from Gideon. You know what? Actually, the joke's good. It's kind of growing on me. Because you'd be Liko. Like when you cried to Brandon because he made fun of your cuck open relationship.
To my surprise, Sneako FaceTimed me literally crying like he had just seen the worst shit in his life. He's got tears rolling down his face because I said some stuff about his girlfriend and said I'd knock him out. Like, what? You're crying? Are you serious?
Even when he's winning, he'd be Wiko. But what if somebody's stupid? Like really stupid? They'd be Sneako.
Yo, is this person retarded?
Leafy, leave Rico alone.
La da da, a toast to the bad guy. With bad bitches, the bad times will pass by.
I like Sneako because he really is just looking out for guys like me. Being online, there's a lot of false or at the very least exaggerated sexual assault allegations, and Rico is very passionate about the subject.
Real talk, chat. That they, them, blue hair, whatever the fuck, feminists should go to jail. You should go to jail for lying about that. It should be, is it? I don't even know about is it a felony to lie about a felony? She should spend the night in jail, but she won't because she's a woman.
For the record, by the way, the reason why a lot of these like right-wing types say this is because it's, on one hand, It's a very, very attractive argument, right? Like, yeah, somebody who lies about rape allegations, like they particularly say women, like women who lie about rape allegations towards men, should be, basically treated the same way as someone who actually did rape, right? Like they should be charged the same way. Now, the reason why people say that is because it looks very appealing, right? It sounds like it makes sense to people. Like, most people will just agree with that argument on its face without even thinking about it much. I think Willie Mack show here is about to agree with it too. But the reason why people like Sneako support it, the reason why a lot of Republicans and a lot of conservative demagogues support it, is because it makes it scarier for someone to come forward with rape allegations. Imagine if, like, you've been raped and you want to come forward about it, but there's a chance that you get in trouble if at the end of everything, somehow it's decided you were lying. Yeah, there's going to be a lot less women particularly coming forward about rape. That's the point.
Agree. Every year online we see false allegations that do real harm to people's careers, and the accusers face zero repercussions. And it ultimately makes it harder for the real victims to come forward. But what if I told you Sneako has accused his critics of doing those exact same things simply because he doesn't like them?
Oh, you know who's an L-mans? Brandon Buckingham.
Oh, yeah.
That guy sucks. I'm gonna bro, literally said, I'm gonna R-word your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Literally said that. This dude said he is going to R-word my girlfriend. Bro, nothing warrants saying I'm gonna R-word your girlfriend. That's some school shooter vibes, bro. Literally, word for word. I'm going to R-word your girlfriend on his fucking public Instagram story.
Brandon never said that. In fact, he didn't even allude to it.
Saying you're gonna R-word my girlfriend?
You said that?
Yes. Yes.
No. Brandon Buckingham got in a pissing match with Sneako in DMs, so Brandon said he was going to run a train on his girl because Sneako was in an open relationship at the time.
Saying that you lied and said that you
Sneako or Brandon Buckingham was calling Sneako a cuck.
He said he wanted to R-word your girlfriend.
He said he wanted to pull up and run a train on my girl. He said me and the whole gang are gonna run a train on your girl.
Okay, but you said that he said he R-word her. That's two different things.
The silence, bro.
Yeah, pulling up with the gang and saying you're gonna run a train on my girl who obviously is not attracted to him. That's the R word, bro.
Bro, but you can't just throw the R word out like that. Like, bro, that's like false accusations.
Okay, so what does that mean? Like, me and the gang are gonna pull up and run a train on your girl. What is that?
But that's like me saying, like, bro, if you keep on talking shit, I'm gonna fuck your bitch. That doesn't mean, like, I'm actually gonna do it. It's just talking shit.
Okay, talking shit by threatening R word.
That's not the same as R word, and like, I'm not gonna agree with that.
Okay, maybe not.
Dude is literally admitting to falsely accusing Brandon.
For all the guys who were falsely accused of shit they didn't do by bitches who were lying.
It's all dishonest. These people are grifting pieces of shit. Like the people who are corralling all these teenage boys into believing all this, they don't actually believe any of it. Obviously, the woman hatred is real, but like the arguments like this, it's just them going with what will get them W's in the chat at whatever time, right? They'll literally change their opinion on a whim just to get the W's in the chat. He just needs to see those W's scrolling up.
Lying like you, go to jail right now. Feel bad. I know you won't. I know you're watching this too, bro. It's nice having like a little bit of clout now because they all watch this. You should be ashamed of yourself. Think about all the women who actually got essayed. And now the next time that's going to happen, the next time the cops show up, maybe they're going to give them a hard time.
It wouldn't be consensual. Like, she doesn't want that. And he lied and said, like, my girl, she was giving me the eyes at dinner and stuff like that. I'm going to pull up and, like, gangbang with it, run a train on her. And he was threatening me with that. Like, maybe it wasn't our word, but he was threatening me with that. And it's like, my girl would not be down to do that.
This was the same girl that was cucking him, banging other dudes right in front of him. She would take him to sex parties and he would sit there crisscross applesauce as some dude pounds his girl on the same bed.
So we go in there with the mentality that whatever happens inside that party, it just stays at the party. Like, yeah. And so I saw her, I've seen her fuck other men. I wanted to break this down, like, because this was, imagine seeing the girl you love, like, get fucked.
It's all projection from these people. Everything they insult and accuse those they don't like of is just projection. They're not very creative. They're not very good at coming up with, like, you know, an original insult. So they just use things they're conscious about is insults themselves. They can't come up with anything original.
Love her? Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her. I was about to say I love this bitch. I'm like, no, let me not say that. I love my wifey, my queen.
And you allowed the love of your life to get fucked by another man. What? So can she enjoy it? Like, what if she's enjoying it too much?
That's the thing. It's like she's moaning pretty loud. Like, I don't know, like how much you. I didn't expect you to
dictate that. She was moaning loud.
Huh?
She was moaning loud.
So all right, so we went on two different. Okay, hold on. We went on two different occasions. The first time,
crazy.
The first time, as soon as I saw like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't do that.
But then he went back and watched it happen again.
It should be fair that she can take other dick if I'm fucking other pussy. Like,
equality.
That's not fair.
Equality.
That's balance. So if it's gonna happen, I might as well see it, supervise it, make sure everything's okay.
Wait, what? No, you didn't have to jump to that conclusion.
Well, it's worse. It's worse if it happens behind my back. Like, I don't want it.
It's not. But y'all are both knowing that it's happening.
So it's never behind your back anymore. You just gotta know.
I gotta see it.
It don't need to be literally in front of you.
It was literally like this far away from me.
Can you? What?
Twice, yeah.
Hold on.
Twice.
Wait, how
2
close
times.
was it?
We're on the same bed.
Were you fucking his girl?
I was not fucking with her.
So you just sat there Indian style with your feet crossed.
So you're telling me Sneako's girl, who bangs other guys all the time as Sneako,
Every hotel room got the Sneako chair.
watches, wouldn't hook up with Brandon?
And when I was out at dinner with Sneako and his girlfriend in New York, she was flirting with everyone very hard, making it entirely apparent she was fair game and was seemingly down to hook up, but none of us reciprocated this behavior.
Okay, maybe not, but it wouldn't be consensual. Like, she doesn't want that. And he lied and said, like, she was giving me the eyes at dinner and stuff like that.
When she grabbed it, she's like, I want you to fuck me. I was like, whoa.
What?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Brandon on this one. I think that's something she'd do. Will make you more unsafe. He does this because he's not his own man. He has to pander to the red pill. Well, this extends into his relationship with Nick Fuentes. Nick is a far-right political voice and also, according to Sneako, his friend.
Hey, what's up? This is my new friend, Nick Fuentes.
Throughout the stream, Nick would defend his extreme views, stuff that literally goes against Sneako's existence.
How do you feel about interracial marriages?
I'm against it.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Dejion? Do you believe in mixed love?
Mixed love, man. Love is love, bro. I love my snow bunnies. I love my Latino. Love my Asian girls. Nick Fuentes, man.
I gotta ask, Nick, how do you feel when you see a black guy just getting with the snow bunnies? Like, is that something that like rustles your jimmies?
She's gonna get BBC, Nick. Yo, white girls gonna.
Look at Nick Fuentes' face here, dude. You could tell he's upset. He's actually mad. He's mad. He's thinking about it. He's gonna go jack off to some cucked interracial black porn after this. You're getting the thoughts in his head.
Gonna get BBC'd.
Well, the problem is all these white girls always end up getting their ass kicked and left behind. That's what typically happens.
What are you talking? Wait, get an ass kicked by who?
What?
Are you asking by who?
My black boyfriend.
Oh, okay. So you trying to say we out here beating these white women? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, that is something that happens. Maybe not you guys. You guys.
Nico, this is your friend! Here's the thing. Nick says stuff that is funny, but it's not jokes. He really does mean it.
I covered a story about this on my show a couple weeks ago, but that's not the only thing. Here's the thing. I'm halfway kidding about that. The thing is, and I was explaining this to Sneako, is... What?
Halfway.
Halfway, here you go. So I said, yeah, like I'm against race mixing. Like I said to you guys right now. I said, yeah, I don't approve of that.
Nick Fuentes has been hanging out with Kanye a lot, and Sneako agrees with Ye about everything. So it's not rare for them to be fueling Jewish conspiracies.
And organized crime around the world. That's how they're able to funnel money from the U.S. government.
Damn, Willie Mac show is being surprisingly based in this video. I wasn't expecting him to call out like the blatant anti-Semitism and like the fact that Nick Fuentes is just a fucking Nazi, just outright, stating it.
To like organized crime, to the cartels, to all kinds of shady things, terrorism that goes on in the world. That's a huge part of the problem globally is shadow banking.
And who's behind it?
Well, we talked about it, Sneako. A lot of Jews. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it's true.
He thinks black people, on average, are biologically dumber than everyone else.
I told Sneako this. We call this race realism, okay? Which is to say that race is real. Like it's not fake. It's not skin deep. Race is real. There are different races, and there's meaningful differences.
Guys, I'm gonna say it. I've got good news, okay? I think we're approaching the end of this right-wing dominance online. I think the upcoming election is gonna be when it comes to an end. I think that right now we're in the fever pitch of it all. Because if you think back to the original Gamergate era, what really brought it to an end, what really started the downfall, was when the term race realism started coming up. Once that shit started flying around, it all fell apart. If you were around back then, you'll remember when like a bunch of people started being like, what's this race realism thing? All these like anti-SJW YouTubers that were previously seen as much more, you know, middle of the line or just conservative. Once they started becoming like race realists, that's when shit all began to fall apart. It all started to fracture and just melt away.
And one of the things is that on average, the races have different IQs. And so on average, Asians have the highest IQ, and on average, blacks have the lowest IQ. And that's why I told Sneako. And no, that's average, okay? It's not, I'm not saying black people are dumb. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
that is not what race realism claims, by the way. This is him giving like a very like sugar-coated version. Race realism claims that due to like statistical average IQ differences between racial groups in America, that one can derive the conclusion that these racial groups are inherently biologically different from each other. That, for example, black people are like biologically inherently less intelligent than white people or Asian people or Jewish people. That Jewish people and Asian people are biologically inherently more intelligent than white people, for example. These are beliefs that race realists push, but this is just Nick Fuentes like sugarcoating the entire like thing. Race realism is basically just believing in like just being racist, but calling it like a word that sounds newfangled and like science-y. I wonder if like these this new batch of Zoomers is gonna like fall for it like people did back in the day, or if it'll all just fall apart. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. This reminds me so much of Gamergate. It's like a blast from the past. So much nostalgia.
That when you average it out,
you're kind of saying that.
I'm not. I'm saying on average. Well, I'm saying on average. On average, there's differences between the IQs. So I believe there are black geniuses like Kanye West. I think he's a black genius. But there's fewer black geniuses than there are Asian geniuses, as an example.
It's not about the color of your skin or your race. It's about your morality. It's about your decision making. What's right? What's wrong? How do you treat?
So all of you guys that may be wondering, like, what does Zan mean when he says people are just chill with Nazis now? Like, they don't care if you're a Nazi, like, in just generally wider normie and conservative, like, just edgelord spaces online right now. Like, you're watching Nick Fuentes, who is just, like, the most known Nazi there is, the most well-known, like, Nazi leader there is online right now, in a conversation with some of the largest content creators on the internet right now. The chat's spamming W Nick, of course, and like I believe this is Gideon up in the top right. I don't know who this is in the bottom right or in the middle here, but like these are clearly larger YouTubers. I recognize this guy from like broader YouTube, and I think I recognize this guy as well. I know who Sneako is, and I know who Destiny is. Like, these are large YouTubers who aren't even like super political, just chilling out with a neo-Nazi who's literally talking about how he's anti-race mixing and doing the JQ overtly, no dog whistling at all. And they're just like, like when it was the anti-race mixing stuff, they were like kind of offended, but when it got to the JQing, they were all laughing and playing along.
Other people. Isn't that what it all comes down to?
Well, I mean, you could say that, but the thing is that, you know,
this guy seems to be arguing with Nick. That's good.
Beings have a tendency to fight with each other. And you can say that, we could say that sitting down here, but what happens when, what would happen if you and I were living in the same house? Mm-hmm. That's the kind of concept. When you and I are on a Discord call and we're sort of strangers and we're talking about ideas, that's great. But what if we're living in the same house and there's a fight over, you know, who gets to shower when and who gets this seat on the couch and who, these are the kinds of things that happen in a...
Never take a shower when Nick Fuentes tells you to.
Wait, do you think you'd fight with him because he's black over that?
I wouldn't fight about stuff like that. And
hold, I want to hear the answer to Destiny's question.
Well, yeah, would you fight more with a black person over who gets to use the shower?
Yes, and here's why. Because
what do people side with in prison? White people stick with the white people, black people stick with black people, and they're obviously going to fight a white person, a black person going to fight with a white person, and a white person going to fight with a black person over the shower.
Hold on. Why are we talking about prison?
Because prison is where people gang up. That's when we don't have like discord, and that's where people act in their natural state. People are very likely to.
Prison is literally the least natural place you can be. You're literally locked in there with more rules than any other part of society.
Fighting for your survival.
You do think black and white people being together is degenerate.
I was about to say that, but, there we go. Yeah, no, there's nothing natural about prison. Just because you have to fight to survive, and it's like survival of the fittest-esque, does not mean it's anything like a naturalistic, like Darwinian nature, like natural order of any kind. No, that's not how it works.
You do think that Jews secretly run the world. You do think that they're like race realism is like a foundational belief of your structure.
And he actually believes that Sneako's existence is a product of this degeneracy.
Because you're right, I am a race realist and I do believe these kinds of things.
Yet at the end of the call, this is what Sneako has to say about someone who thinks he shouldn't even exist.
What is your opinion? Nick and I have a very similar worldview. Nick believes a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. Like, Nick really, if I listened to this whole call, I don't think he said anything that makes you want to cancel him. I think he's a good guy. He's saying, hey, I love everybody. Is he really being that exclusionary?
Yo, that's crazy. Sneako, I'm not even gonna lie. If he had his way and first off, you wouldn't even exist because you're the basis of an interracial marriage. So whatever kind of prescriptive ideas that he's got for the world, you are literally an individual that wouldn't exist in it.
Mentally cucked.
Live in a constant state of fear and misery. Do you miss me anymore?
Sneako is actually a really sad case, because even though we'll brag about his financial success and how much more popular he is,
I have made more money in the past.
Oh god, Sneako might actually kill himself when his channel finally falls off and no one cares about him anymore. Like, I think he might actually just end it all. I don't think there's any, like, life for him outside of somehow failing upwards into streaming and being successful at it.
Past 2 months than I made in the past 3 years. I'm doing well. And I got there last year by going from broke to a millionaire.
I'm really happy to see that he's spending his money very frivolously as well. He's not smart enough to save or invest or anything like that. He's just spending it all, like, as he gets it. That makes me very happy. His downfall will be very fun to watch.
2022, biggest year of my life, craziest year of my life, cancellation, all that. Started with 1 million subscribers, ended with no YouTube channel but $1 million.
He's actually lost a lot. His views have dropped dramatically, often not even hitting 10K. He talks about the red pill and bots so much, his family doesn't even invite him over for Christmas anymore.
Like, this was the first Christmas I didn't go home because of my association with Ye. Because Ye was talking about, they called him anti-Semitic, they lied about him. And so my association with the people that you want to have on a panel, like Nick Fuentes and Ye, that pushed me away. They're like, we don't want you to talk about this.
All he's got to do is act like a normal person while home for the holidays, and he can't. He's got to talk about how they're vaccinated and they voted for Biden.
Wait, so like your mom?
My family, just like my whole family.
Really, your whole family?
Yeah. All vaccinated, all
God,
Biden
this
voters,
lady's really dumb.
insane,
We gotta watch one of the interviews this lady has done, because she is really, really dumb. Like, extraordinarily dumb.
Stop it. Can you red pill some of them?
I think we all have at least one family member that doesn't know how to shut up and act normal while home for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Well, Sneako is that guy.
I still love them, of course, and I'm sure they still love me, but the reason is like they just wouldn't be able to handle a conversation at the dinner table because, woke people don't know how to have discourse. They don't know how to disagree healthily. They get so emotionally involved. And
I would love to have a conversation with Sneako. That would be fantastic. Let's have some discourse.
They want to live in their delusion. They want to be like the fat girl who's saying, I'm perfect the way I am.
Ah, there it is. You know what? There's something poetic about Sneako. By embracing the red pill and eating that Tate taint, Sneako was able to become rich.
My life has started to change for the better. I've made more money in the last 2 months than I made in the past 2 years.
But in return, he's lost his YouTube channel, his girlfriend cucked him, and now he's spending the holidays alone.
I have a good community around me. I've been saying in my chat, that's why my Rumble stream is doing so well. Like, my chat's my family. Like, that's what I look forward to every single night. It's New Year's Eve, and I'm just excited to get on the stream, see all the same like usernames that I see. I talk to them all the time. So that's the family right now. That's who I spend the most time with.
Bruh, this is sad. All the money in the world living in Miami, and his chat is all he's got. The dude's literally the Scrooge. I actually want to end this video by finding some common ground with Sneako, because he has said one thing that I agree with.
The alpha male. I know I'm not. I've never fucking once called myself that.
One other thing I want to bring up is Sneako's list. It's just a bunch of people that have bullied him in the past.
Hey, look at the sword war collage. We added 2 to the top. Did you guys see there's another hippies video on me from another soy boy?
Imagine getting bullied by this guy. Well, I want to introduce my cuck boy list.
Add me on. Add me onto the soy boy list. Add me in. Just do it, Sneako. Add me onto the soy boy list. Why am I not there? I've criticized you a shit ton, brother. Put me on there. Come on, man. What do you mean, bro? Get me on there. I'm offended. I'm an offended libtard right now. Get me on that list.
Sneako is the only guy I know that wants 5 wives but can't seem to get one.
That's insecurity. I'm deeply afraid of somebody calling.
Holy shit. If Sneako gets 5 wives, he'll be able to get cucked 5 times at once. Like 5 cuckings at once could happen to him if he had 5 wives. That's crazy. Could you imagine that? One guy getting cucked 5 times all at the same time? Okay, I like Willie Mac's video. It was really good. Go check out the video. Go drop some support over there. Leave a friendly comment and all of that. That was a really good video. I thought he did a good job of taking down Sneako there. How many Sneako fans are actually going to listen to that and be moved by it? I don't imagine many, if I'm being honest with you, but we shall see, I suppose. With all that said, though, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, follow my social medias linked down below, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.